I wanted to talk a little bit about this math cartoon. As we get into some of this early algebra, you might be finding yourself saying, why are we doing this? What is the point of all these rules, of combining all these things, of learning all of this? And I wanted to show this cartoon because it is like a foreign language. It's like learning Spanish or learning to read music. You're learning the language of math, and this language of math will open the doors for you for other things, other science classes, other higher math classes, engineering classes. Uh, it, this math, algebra, really is the language that we use to talk about many of these other subjects. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. What we're going to work on now is still simplifying expressions, but we're going to do longer ones that combine adding, multiplying, and the distributive property together. We're going to talk about what order to do these things in and how our answers are going to look. First, 5x minus 7 minus 2x. The first thing that we need to do is distribute. Here's the order that I work these problems in. First, find any place you can distribute. Then, collect your like terms. We will do these first two steps when we start working with solving equations too. So, first step is distribute this negative. Some people like to put a 1 here, almost like you're multiplying. Negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. And negative 1 times negative 2x. A negative times a negative is a positive. So that's positive 2x. So the negative sign just changes the sign of each of the terms in the parentheses. Bring down your 5x. Now, collect your like terms. 5x, negative 7, and positive 2x. The x's are the like terms. 5 of them and 2 of them make 7 of them, so that's 7x minus 7. Nine minus 3 times 4y plus 6. We're going to distribute first. We have a negative 3, don't forget the negative, that we're going to distribute to both the terms in my parenthesis. So negative 3 times 4y is negative 12y. Negative 3 times a positive 6 is a negative 18. Bring your 9 with. Next, collect your like terms. You only have one that has a variable in it, so negative 12y. And then your constant terms, 9 and negative 18. So $9, you lose 18, you're 9 in the hole. Negative 12y minus 9. First distribute. 3 times 5a is 15a. 3 times negative 4b is negative 12b. Now distribute this negative. Sometimes I think of it as distributing a negative 1. So negative 1 times 2a is negative 2a. Negative 1 times b is negative 1b, or negative b. Now we'll add our like terms. Remember, when you're finding the terms, you take the sign in front of the term with it. Those are my 4 terms. So I have 15a and negative 2a. That makes 13a. And negative 12b and negative 1b. Think money. You lose 12, you lose 1 more. You're now 13 in the hole. Negative 13b. If you're getting this, you can feel free to stop right now. Otherwise, I will do a few more as practice. First, distribute. I have my negative 3 times this parenthesis. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 9. A negative times a negative is a positive 27. Notice I don't multiply the negative 3 times the negative 5 because it's not in the parenthesis. You only distribute that 3 to what's in the parenthesis. So the negative 5 just comes along with us. Now add your like terms. Negative 6x is the only variable term. Now my constant terms, positive 27 and negative 5. It's positive 22. Negative 6x plus 22. Distribute. Again, don't do 6 minus 4 is 2. That's not what you do here. You have to multiply before you subtract. So I'm going to distribute that negative 4. Negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. Negative 4 times negative 10. A negative times a negative is a positive. Positive 40. And then bring down the 6. Combine your like terms. I only have one variable term, so negative 8x. And I have two constant terms, positive 6 and positive 40. Combine those, you get 46. Negative 8x plus 46. Notice how I'm working downward with these problems. I start with a problem, I do one step and simplify, and then I do another step and simplify further. I work downward. Okay. 7 minus 2x minus 4. Distribute first. I have a minus in front of a parenthesis. I have to distribute that negative, or you can think of it as distributing a negative 1 times it. So negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times negative 4, a negative times a negative is a positive, so that's positive 4. And bring down your 7. Add your like terms. There's only one variable term, negative 2x. And then 7 and a positive 4 makes an 11. Negative 2x plus 11. This problem is really optional. It's a long one, but I wanted to show you that once you know these rules, you can attack seemingly very long and crazy looking problems, and it's really just longer, not harder. Again, the first step I'm going to do is to do the distributive property wherever I find it. Here I have distributive property, 2 times this parenthesis, so I'll distribute. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times negative 5x is negative 10x. I have to distribute this negative, so it's like multiplying by negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 2x is positive 2x. Negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. And then I have to distribute here. This negative 3 is multiplied by this parenthesis. Again, don't forget that negative. Always use the sign in front of the number. Negative 3 times 4x is negative 12x. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. This negative 9 does not distribute with anything, so we'll just bring it along. So I have now distributed. Now I need to add up my like terms. So let's see. I'll do my variable terms first. Negative 10x, positive 2x, and negative 12x. Those are all like terms. They end in an x. So think money. You lose $10, you gain back 2. So now you're 8 in the hole, and you lose 12 more. Well, if you're 8 in the hole and you lose 12 more, you're in the hole 20. Negative 20x. That's my variable terms. Now let's look at the constant terms. Positive 8, negative 7, positive 6, negative 9. Consider the sign in front of the number to go with the number. So let's work left to right. 8 minus 7 is 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 minus 9, think money. You had $7, you lost 9. You're now 2 in the hole. Negative 20x minus 2. That is simplified. Again, not harder, just longer.